What loophole did you exploit 4 years before someone found out? Used to wait tables at an old steak house that would put buy one get one free steak coupons in the local newspaper the first Sunday of every month. Early Sunday morning like clockwork I would drive around and buy as many as I could, sometimes all of them, cut them out, and keep a couple in my server book as needed for each shift. Then shift after shift, anytime someone would pay cash for their tab and before the customer got up, or I'd bring back change if needed, I would walk up to the manager and ask for a comp showing the ticket and coupon, and that extra cash went straight into my pocket. Turned $100 to $150 nights into $250 to $300 nights. Very quick and honestly too easy. Did it for over a year and a half. Managers never caught on. 2 from college. Not exactly loopholes, but playing the system. Pizza chain had coupons printed on their larger boxes. With 10 coupons you could get a free cheese carry-out pizza. Used to rate every single trash can of their pizza boxes in the dorms, or offer to throw away someone's box for the coupons. Rarely paid for a pizza, but got plenty of cheese carry-outs for free. Campus paper printed a coupon for 2 free game tokens in the bowling alley / arcade in the student union. Limit 1 coupon per day. I got a stack of coupons. Free campus paper. Twice a week I had to go through the student union for class, and was usually with a friend. She was a good sport, and the 2 of us cashing in coupons meant 4 game tokens a day, 8 per week. I made her a pair of earrings out of 2 game tokens for being a good sport. There is an app for a local burger chain, where it allows you to roll the dice to get a code for a free double patty burger upgrade. It was designed so you could only try it once per day, and it even shows the date of the roll on the code so the cashier could verify it. However, I found out that you can just change the date on your phone and try again immediately. If you got nothing, change it again and just keep going until you get the code. Then, when you got the code, you change the date back to current date and the app updates the code so it looks like you rolled it today. I got free burger upgrades for years until they finally got rid of the feature altogether. I don't know if anyone ever figured out this exploit. They removed it for other reasons. When I worked at Subway in the 90s we only inventoried cups, bread, and salad bowls. For whatever reason chips, cookies, and actual sandwich ingredients weren't. I'd work the closing shift which was a one-man job, so after locking the door and tearing everything down, I'd just shove food into my bag before going home. Chicken, roast beef, bags of chips, cookies, you name it. Sometimes I'd fill up empty 2-liter bottles from the fountain. Another thing was, if someone ordered a small soda I'd ring it up as a cheese round, same price, and nobody ever asked for a receipt to offset the bread count by 1. So then I could make myself a sandwich and everything still matched up on the books. There were days I'd walk out with 4 or 5 subs and give them to my friends. To my knowledge nobody ever found out about that either. I used to work at a grocery store, and we had this era of the steak discounts. Hundreds of coupons for $5 off a steak were just everywhere for some reason. I found out that if I used the self-checkout and bought a steak that was less than $5 while using the coupon, the machine would give me back the difference in change. I ate dozens of free steaks and filled my change jar up nicely. I used to live in an apartment across the road from a casino whilst at university. They released an app where, if you check in you get points that go towards free food and drinks. Because I was close enough to the casino I could just check in without going to the casino itself. Every Saturday I used to get a free burger, fries and drink and watch sport in the sports bar. They eventually scrapped the app. It was awesome considering I was a broke uni student. The thing we clocked in on when I worked at Kmart would round to the closest quarter hour. So by clocking in 8 minutes early and clocking out 8 minutes after my shift, I got paid for 30 minutes rather than for the 16 minutes. By exploiting this, I was paid 2.5 hours of overtime a week. Cumulatively, during my time there, this added up to about 6.5 weeks of extra pay. I wasn't ever caught, though. Back in 1999/2000 there was this web advertising company called All Advantage. You could install their ad banner on your computer and it would occupy like the bottom 15% of your screen and show you ads, and AA would pay you for the time you were exposed to the ads. Of course they had basic measures in place, like stopping your accumulated time if your screensaver came on or your computer went to sleep. But all it took was a simple program that would keep your mouse slowly moving while you're actually away IRL, and the AA clock would keep on ticking. Not sure if keeping it running at all times I was away IRL ended up being cost effective in regards to cost of electricity, but I was a teenager living with my parents, so I didn't care about that. I think I pulled maybe $500 or so before the company went under. Local casino issued a $20 free play coupon in the newspaper with no expiration date. I talked to the newspaper delivery guy and asked him about that copy, and he told me he's got hundreds of them in the van as they were a few days old now. I got all of them, clipped out the coupons, and proceeded to make $19.50 every day after work for around 500 or so days. Not quite years, but pretty damn close. The casino never printed a coupon without expiration /1 per customer rules ever since. Was living near and attending our local university. While working full time in an economy in the midst of a recession, I barely had enough money to pay the bills, let alone eat. Where I live is very well known for its tourist industry and casinos, so I had quite a few friends who worked in it and would tell me about these massive employee luncheon cafeterias. At that time there were no ID cards or lanyards to be scanned or checked. All you needed was to find it and be dressed appropriately to the employer's dress code. After my friend and I did a dry run on one of those trips, in order for me to find it without getting lost I would go it alone. For almost 3 years I had lunch dinner for free, learning the peak service times and the dead zones. Even got along with some of the cafeteria workers and custodial crews. When I was in college they had this deal where if you signed up for a free trial of Netflix, you could get a $10 gift card code for Papa John's. They didn't even ask for a credit card back then, just an email, so I would just make new email addresses to use and would get a code every time. Not only did I get free Netflix for a while, but I also got a lot of free pizza. Not intentional, but once I found out I didn't stop. Years ago I used my card to pay for Xbox Live during a period before I could pick up a manual 1-year subscription, but when I tried to remove my card details it wouldn't let me and said I had to call MS directly. Being lazy but smart, I decided to just change the security numbers that were saved so it wouldn't process any future payments. And it never did. But somehow I still kept getting Xbox Live access. This went on for about a year and a half before it stopped. I was never contacted about paying anything for what I'd used either. My first credit card ever, when I was 18, many moons ago. I opened a bank account and they sent me a CC. I used it for just shy of 2 years. All kinds of stuff. My first apartment was baller. Never got a bill. Bought nice clothes, systems, subscriptions, food, you name it. Never got a bill. Went to the bank one day to deposit some money and ask when my new card was coming. My old one was about to expire and they said, "What CC? You aren't supposed to have this." They took it on the spot. Never got a bill. Tens of thousands of dollars easily, all for free. My family used to go to this campground in the summer and rent a little cabin for like a week. In the main building there was a little arcade, mostly older games, and a football table, and an air hockey table. What most people didn't know was, the air hockey table was broke. If you put quarters in, you could push the plunger to start the machine, and then get your quarters back, if you did it just right. A couple of years in a row were super fun, because me and one other kid that knew would keep air hockey going for the entire time. The arcade would be filled with kids who would often play other games while waiting their turn at air hockey. They must have found out after a few years though, because one year we went back and it was fixed. The arcade was also a complete ghost town and the campground made no money off it after that. That's when I fully realized and understood the concept of a loss leader at like 13 years old. On the original Kindle, you could purchase a book with an expired card and Amazon would send you the book. A minute later, you'd receive a notification saying the payment didn't go through. You had to select something stating you were aware of this, and then they would take the book back. If you hit the home button, it took you out of the notification and you could continue reading the book, unaware that the payment didn't go through. I did this once a month my junior year in high school. The summer before senior year, I could not do it anymore. Coincidentally, my passion for reading died around that time. One week the local Chick-fil-A put a coupon in a local coupon magazine flyer which was buy one, get one free, any item on the menu. Next to that coupon they had a 50% off any menu item. I carefully checked, and neither coupon mentioned cannot be combined with any other offer anywhere on it. So I ran out to the local grocery store and grabbed a stack of these flyers. Sure enough, the next week the offer was gone, but it was too late to stop me. I spent almost 2 years as a grad student living almost exclusively off of 128 count nugget platters that I would get for 25% of the cost. First half off, second free. Place went under new management and they put up a sign saying they would no longer be accepting those coupons. Not entirely sure if that was due solely to me or if anyone else was pulling the same thing. I had about 20 coupon pairs left when they shut it down.